Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. I'm Chip Skipper coming to you live with Royal Crown Wrestling Rumble Friday. We're here for another night of fantastic independent wrestling action. And coming down to the ring first is a man who needs no introduction to many people in attendance tonight, the alternative, Anthony Greene. Dozens of title victories across over 100 promotions. The alternative, Anthony Greene, is far from an alternative in the minds of these fans. Perhaps not a mainstream name per se, Anthony Greene has nevertheless been around the world, around the nation, seen pretty much every wrestling style there is to see, and has incorporated them all into his own strategy, and is at a peak age to make use of that. Hence why he's been rated one of the top wrestlers in the world every year for the past 5 or 6 years now.
The Big Stepper, Colton Charles!
Meanwhile, by comparison, Colton Charles, Anthony Greene's opponent tonight, is far from an established entity. But this man has charisma and potential in spades. Look at look at this man's physique, the athleticism, the muscles rippling out of every single portion of this man's body, the charisma leaking out of his face. Look at the crowd, he is absolutely the fan favorite here tonight. Hot dogging and grandstanding like a mother clucker in that audience. Anthony Greene clearly having a little bit of an issue with the level of hot dogging and grandstanding going on tonight. Colton Charles making his way around the ring to get the crowd hyped up. He may be an unproven entity to the wrestling world at large, but here in Royal Crown Wrestling, Colton Charles is absolutely the man to see. The Big Stepper, Colton Charles. Not a whole lot of titles to his name.
He's way bigger than I thought. Way bigger.
Anthony Greene makes a valid point. Colton Charles is a big man, and there's nothing scarier than a big man who can move. Colton Charles, the raw potential, the raw athleticism of this man, the raw explosivity of this man is a threat to pretty much any opponent if they are not prepared to take him on. Colton Charles' major weakness based on his prior match record is that he perhaps struggles a bit with going the distance, not able to maintain his high energy throughout the length of the match. But if he can finish off his opponent quickly, do you need to go very long? Well, we'll find out tonight if Anthony Greene has the tools in his box to figure out the puzzle that is Colton Charles. Fans going wild for Colton Charles. Anthony Greene having major issue picking a fight with the people in the crowd. Not a fan of the pandemic of hot dogging and grandstanding that has spread throughout the crowd here tonight. Royal Crown Wrestling starting up a chant for Colton Charles. The alternative, Anthony Greene, not having it. Trying to stay away, trying to get this man out of his personal space. Anthony Greene finding threats on all sides tonight, and the match hasn't even started. You feel the momentum slipping away already. Jaw-jacking with the crowd in the front row. Referee telling him to get in the ring. Anthony Greene not done jack and jaw with the audience. This match has to begin sometime. Anthony Greene being told by everyone to get in this ring, start off this match. Anthony Greene, no! Oh, Anthony Greene, so distracted by the hot standing and grand dogging of Colton Charles that has spread to this audience, causing him to trip. This has now become a personal, emotional match for Anthony Greene. He has already, before the bell has even rung, become humiliated. Wanting to take on a methodical pace just to this opening alone, forcing his opponent to watch as he carefully kneels to fold his signature jacket. Anthony Greene has made quite the name for himself, and his name he is very proud to shout to the world, as evidenced by his own theme music being, I believe, self-created, shouting himself out in the song. Anthony Greene featuring Anthony Greene, carefully folding up his signature vest. Colton Charles getting a case of the grabby hands.
Let's go. My hands get a little grabby sometimes.
Exactly. Anthony Greene really feeling his personal space invaded tonight. Oh, Colton Charles starting up another chant. He has found an in. He has found a potential weakness of Anthony Greene not being able to handle everyone being against him on all sides. Anthony Greene just not having it. Trying to disrupt the flow of the crowd. The match has started. Anthony Greene being told, all right, if you're not getting in the ring, we're going to force you in. Anthony Greene trying in vain to get the crowd on his side with a little classic flex. But eventually he just gets in the ring, hoping that his technicality can win the day. All right, pawn to E4 here, standard lockup. Colton Charles easily getting the advantage through raw strength alone, pushing Anthony Greene into the corner. Clean break. Colton Charles, big stepping in this building, getting the crowd back on his side. Anthony Greene telling him to knock it off, and it might be in vain. Foot stomp by Colton Charles, forcing Anthony Greene to become a bit of a big step himself. Excuse me. Choking on the charisma of Colton Charles. He's getting to all of us here tonight. Anthony Greene trying to power out. He manages it, but Colton Charles using the rebound energy to just shoulder charge Anthony Greene flat to the mat. Colton Charles getting the crowd back on the side. Anthony Greene going for a trip. Misses it. Another shoulder block from Colton Charles. Nothing fancy, nothing too technical. He does not need it. His explosive power, more than enough to save the day, forcing Anthony Greene into an Irish whip. Anthony Greene counters, toe kick to the gut. He's running the ropes. He's going to go for Colton Charles again, and I think Anthony Greene might be getting in his own head after the crowd is allowing Colton Charles to gain the mental advantage on Anthony Greene. A power slam from Colton Charles. He has this match firmly in his control. Lazy bounce off the ropes, getting the crowd back into the big stepping motion. The big steppa's elbow drop to Anthony Greene. Anthony Greene struggling to kick out of it. Looks like Colton Charles' weight advantage might be more than we initially calculated. Anthony Greene having to really put a lot of force into that kick out. Colton Charles very nearly coasting on his sheer explosive power. Anthony Greene getting a foot up, enziguri to the head. Anthony Greene up to the middle rope now. Double stomp to the arm, single axe handle to the head. Incredible combination. Veteran instincts from Anthony Greene. Arm wrench forcing Colton Charles back down to the mat. Anthony Greene spotted an opening there. Now he's working over that arm, taking control of that hand, grabbing the other arm. Wrist control, boot to the arm again. Anthony Greene using his veteran wiles to take advantage of the opening that Colton Charles gave him. Snapmare maintaining control of the arm. Looks like he's picked an arm to work over the left arm of Colton Charles. The arm breaker by Anthony Greene, falling back on the mat to exert maximum torque on that elbow tendon. Colton Charles really feeling it. See that left arm tucked at his side, instinctually trying to protect it, but only giving Anthony Greene further knowledge that his attacks on that arm are working. Hard to use your power advantage if you can't actually lift your opponent up. Anthony Greene taking full advantage of that basic fact of biology, tossing Colton Charles out of the ring. Anthony Greene looking for either a breather or some sort of positional advantage, maybe just trying to wait out. Anthony Greene going to the outside. He has a plan here. Setting him up against the barricade chop to Colton Charles's chest. Anthony Greene, he might be the alternative, but he knows the bread and butter that works best when you have an opponent almost a little bit out of place. Beautiful club to the back. Anthony Greene getting a little panicky by the crowd, going for another chop, this time against the corner post. Oh, a mistake. That is not common of a man of Anthony Greene's experience. Colton Charles with a chop of his own. Anthony Greene distracted by the fans. Anthony Greene chopping the post, very nearly breaking that hand. That hand is still in agony. A match of two messed up hands. Colton Charles charging up, using the top rope to spring for a splash that does not connect as Anthony Greene rolls out of the way. He sees the big man coming. Another arm wrench to the mat. Anthony Greene really working over that arm, going for a pin, keeping Colton Charles on his toes. Maintains that arm control, using the kick out to force Colton Charles into an unfortunate position. Standing arm wrench to the seated Colton. Anthony Greene really cranking in on that elbow. Really wanting to make sure that Colton Charles could not use that left arm. Colton Charles has more than enough strength in his other limbs to power out of it. Punches to the gut, boot to the gut by Anthony Greene. Running the ropes now. Colton Charles stuck in place. Lariat. Colton Charles eating that lariat. It definitely did some damage to the man. Another lariat by Anthony Greene. Colton Charles not going down. Almost having to use the ropes for support. Anthony Greene clearing the ring with that lariat. Colton Charles flipping over the top rope to the outside. Anthony Greene going for a springboard splash to the outside, but he is caught. Crossbody not effective. The double chokehold into a choke slam on the apron by Colton Charles. Anthony Greene taking some serious damage to his spine from that impact to the hardest part of the ring. You can see Colton Charles, though, he's starting to sweat. This match has gone on a bit longer than he's used to, often in short matches or tag matches, usually relying on his explosivity to get the hot tag, barreling through that lariat, countering with a clothesline of his own, and another one. Anthony Greene trying to desperately maintain control of the match, but he ends up in the corner for a corner splash. No! He gets up the foot to the middle rope again, going for a... Oh, God. Oh, no. The double axe handle countered by Colton Charles into a Northern Lights release suplex, yeeting Anthony Greene clear across the ring. Colton Charles winding up again. Corner splash. This time it connects. Colton Charles getting him into a backdrop slam, spinning slam to the mat. Holy. Colton Charles has Anthony Greene down where he wants him, charging up in the corner. Springing off of the top rope again, this time connecting with the splash. Almost getting the 3 count on Anthony Greene. Anthony Greene really having to put a lot of force into that kick out. Colton Charles looking a bit gassed, trying to get the crowd on his side. He wants to finish off Anthony Greene right now. He's calling it. He's calling his shot. He's calling the end of this match. Anthony Greene up to his feet. Colton Charles, huge lariat, whiffs Anthony Greene from behind, clubbing blows, gets him into a double hammer lock from behind, going for, I believe, an unprettier. Unable to succeed. More clubbing blows to the back. Almost has the unprettier in place. Not enough. Huge knockout blow from Colton Charles, now running the ropes again. Leapfrog by Anthony Greene, and Colton Charles' momentum takes him clean out of the ring. Springboard crossbody by Anthony Greene. Caught into a double choke again by Colton Charles, but the choke slam doesn't work. Super kick by Anthony Greene as he counters, running the ropes again. Suicide dive to the outside. Incredible clearance on that. Anthony Greene on full steam ahead. Colton Charles tumbling down the entranceway. Fortunate he took that on carpet, otherwise he might be in a lot more trouble here, but Anthony Greene not allowing him the time to counter. Oh my God, traipsing the rope, spinning crossbody from Anthony Greene, almost getting the 3 count. He's back on his feet. He spots the kill here. Middle rope cutter. Flying cutter from the middle rope by Anthony Greene. Not enough. Colton Charles kicking out. Anthony Greene visibly disappointed by that not finishing off the match. Colton Charles using his raw power to force his way out of that, but he has taken some serious damage. Anthony Greene trying to catch his breath after putting it all into that exchange. He dealt his damage, getting that double overhook in from behind, trying to spin him around for the unprettier. Anthony Greene breaking free, throwing him into the corner. Oh no, Colton Charles breaking free, excuse me. Onto the shoulders of Colton Charles. Anthony Greene breaks out. Super kick to the head, knocking Colton Charles against the ropes. Oh no. Colton Charles, not an expert of recovery. The first time having to lean against the ropes and getting his arms stomped out of their sockets. This time getting himself tangled in the ropes. Anthony Greene has Colton Charles exactly where he wants him. He is trapped. Anthony Greene, super kick to the defenseless Colton Charles. It is a ruthless maneuver, but entirely legal on Anthony Greene's part. Has him in the front face lock. Is he going for here? Vertical suplex, not nearly enough. Colton Charles powering out of it with a suplex of his own. Anthony Greene keeps trying to lock up in a standing-on-standing matchup with Colton Charles, and it is not going his way. Huge lariat from the corner. Colton Charles finally gets it. He's slow on the cover, doesn't get the full press in. Oh, no. Colton Charles could not get the finish. Huge lariat knocking Anthony Greene loopy, but he still had just enough strength to get out of that loose cover that Colton Charles put him in. Colton Charles winding up for another huge big boy lariat. Whiffs Anthony Greene from behind, trying to super kick. Big man out on his feet. Anthony Greene, trying to get into the unprettier again. Middle rope this time. Trying to go for a back elbow, caught into a release German suplex by Colton Charles. Big man takes off the shirt. It's singlet time. Running, spear. Oh, God. Anthony Greene dodges Colton Charles, spearing straight into the metal post in the corner. Anthony Greene has a chance to counter. Double overhook from behind. Anthony Greene going for the unprettier. Stepping off of the middle rope and then the top rope. So much prettier. Anthony Greene going for the pin, and that's enough. That corner-assisted unprettier from Anthony Greene was enough to send Colton Charles packing. Anthony Greene doing a damn good job of surviving the onslaught, the explosivity of Colton Charles. Not enough to take down Anthony Greene. Anthony Greene coming away with the W. The alternative, winning that match, his veteran instincts, his superior stamina, being able to overwhelm the advantage that the crowd and the size gave Colton Charles in this match. Props to both men for their performance tonight. I've been Chip Skipper. This has been Royal Crown Wrestling Rumble Friday. Incredible match between Colton Charles and Anthony Greene. I'd like to see y'all next time, and have a good night.